Welcome to the Bad Broadcast. I'm your host, Maddie. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new episode of the Bad Broadcast. I was going to comment on how bad I look, but I actually think I look pretty good considering how bad I feel. We've just been sick in our house. I swear the seasons change and then I'm sick and I feel like death. And honestly, the camera is doing me a lot of favors. This camera, by the way, I get a lot of questions about it. It's like the poor man's G7X. It's the Sony ZV-1. And I love it. Like, I feel like it makes me look way better than I actually do. And I've linked it a bunch on my Instagram, but anyway, just in case you needed a refresher, the Sony ZV-1, you do have to buy the flash separately. Not great, but you just buy the flash on Amazon. It's great. It's perfect. All right. So yeah, we've been sick. Coco's much sicker than me, which is so sad. It's like she just has this like rattly little cough and she hasn't been sick a ton in her life. I mean, she was sick like once as a newborn. I mean, it's like, you know, once a year she gets like a really bad like head cold. And it's just so sad. She has this little cough and she just looks me in the eyes like she thinks that I can take it away and I can't do anything about it. So we're doing a lot of vapor baths and humidifiers and, you know, throat suckers or whatever those are called. The booger suckers, but then like the cough drops that are suckers, a lot of those will be on the mend here soon. We're doing a lot of movie days, a lot of Monsters, Inc. We've been fixated on Monsters, Inc. for the last couple months. You guys know it was Frozen and Frozen 2, which I had a lot of thoughts about. Now we've moved on to Monsters, Inc., which is great because I personally have had a fixation on Monsters, Inc. for about 20 years. I used to recite the movie by heart when I was trying to fall asleep as a kid. So it's really a beautiful moment that Coco is now attached to Monsters, Inc. I think we're going to be them for Halloween. I think I'm going to have her be Sully, make Gray be Mike. And he suggested that he paint his whole head and his head is Mike Wazowski, but I think that he should just go with the full costume and then wear like a Monsters University hat or something. And then I think I want to be Celia. And we were going to do like Mike. We were going to be Mike and Sully and then have her be Boo. But just I saw this little kid Sully costume and I just could not resist. I just was so excited about it. So I think that's what we're going to do. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Monsters, Inc. I could probably really pull back on like how much I'm talking about it to friends, family, really anybody that will listen. But like, I don't know. I just think there's a few plot holes that need to be addressed. Like how, when they're running away from Randall at the end of Monsters, Inc., how do they know what doors are connected to the factory? How are they moving through the human world without being seen? I mean, they're walking through Paris. How are they not being caught? Also, another topic that I could really probably stop talking about because I've done it ad nauseum, but like, I mean, who's gayer, Mike or Sully? And if we're talking Monsters University, I do think it's Sully, but as far as Monsters, Inc. goes, I could see Mike being bisexual, maybe, I don't know, maybe struggling to figure it out. I could see that. And I've consulted with many different types of people for this question because I want a wide range of answers. You know, you can't just talk to straight white women when you're trying to figure out who is the most gay Disney character non-canonically. So I don't know. I had some really good arguments for, you know, Sully is maybe a typical kind of straight frat bro who has some gay behavior, but that's not because he's gay. It's because he is just wanting some male affection, which all men need. I mean, straight, gay, whatever it is, you need male affection. And anyway, I've really dug deep into this. Oh my gosh, I've had too much time on my hands to think about this. But Sully, also, you do need to think about that he clearly has daddy issues, okay? He's been living in his father's shadow his whole life. And I knew that he had daddy issues in Monsters, Inc. Okay, before we even learned about his background. I mean, because he's clearly like a little too attached to Waternoose. Like he really wants to make Waternoose proud. And then we learned that his dad, you know, he was always trying to live up to his potential. Maybe there was some abuse in the household. I mean, Sully picked a career where he spends half of his time in closets. I mean, come on, we gotta read between the lines here a little bit. It's not even really reading between the lines. It's just kind of paying attention. But then we have Mike and Celia, who seem to be very happy together. And to me, Mike is giving like he would be homophobic until Sully came out to him. Like he seems like kind of like the classic like New York dad who like doesn't understand gay people. But then like Sully comes out to him and then he like slowly starts to, whistle a different tune. So let me know your thoughts on that. It's really important that you guys tell me. So please make sure you do. And let's see, what was next? Oh, of course, the next thing on my notes is I'm fat. Because I've just been feeling fat and I'm fluffing the nest. And I mentioned that on my Instagram story, which basically means I don't care about losing weight. I'm not on a health journey right now because I would like to get pregnant. And so, as a mama bird would do, fluff the nest, get it ready for a child. If I hold a little extra weight in my belly to protect my uterus from for my future child, then I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, I have a deep need, as many of us do, to just wake up in the morning and tell somebody I feel fat. Why is that? Like, I just need to say, I feel fat and ugly. Because fat's a feeling. It's not like a reality. And you just have to say it sometimes. Like, I would be shocked if the women listening have not had a day where you just have to say, I feel fat. And that's where I am. And that might be because calorically, I really have not held back at all. Those caramel cups from Costco, they're so sweet. They're like, when I ate one for the first time, I was like, I could only eat one of these. I have now proved myself wrong every day this week. I pound those. Salted caramel. They're like peanut butter cups, but they have salted caramel in the middle. Holy shit. They're so good. Those with one of the raspberry cream cups together, you get the raspberry, you get the caramel, you get the salt, you get the tart. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, so now let's move on to the really important stuff, which is Dancing with the Stars. Of course, I'm recording this on Wednesday, September 17th. So yesterday is when the season premiere aired. I have so many thoughts about this cast. We really hit the millennial mother load with this cast. Topanga, Meredith Blake, the women of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, come on. Fifth Harmony. Like, if you're a millennial, this season was handpicked for you. And I'm living for it. You know who I love on Dancing with the Stars? Alfonso. He's a phenomenal host. Keeps it flowing. He's funny. He's charismatic. He's a great dancer. He's fun. Like, his energy on Dancing with the Stars, incredible. Julianne Hough, no hate, no shade. No hate, no shade. Have her and her brother been together romantically? I don't know. I mean, the internet has perpetuated some rumors, and if that's that's none of my business. But as a host, I don't know if it's there for me with Julianne. It's a little awkward. It's a little, I don't know. There's something about it that's just not quite flowing. The Kinergy is not there, if you will. Derek Hough, I like as a judge. Bruno, I like, is he not Franck from Father of the Bride? Like, everything he does, I'm like, this man is Franck. I can't remember Franck's last name, but Derek I like as a judge. I feel like Derek is kind of like the hire for the internet. Like, when he's judging, I feel like he's nicer to the more famous people because he knows that the internet will destroy him if he's too hard on like the Alex Earls of the world. And I think that skews the type of judging that he does. And I just don't think that Dancing with the Stars is really about dancing anymore, which, I'm not even necessarily complaining about that. I just think we're in the age of the internet, of influencers. I mean, like, for heaven's sake, you vote before they even dance. Like, that's crazy. I mean, to have it not live is actually insane. I mean, we're in Utah, we can't watch it until 7 p.m., which the show's already been over for an hour at that. No, it hasn't been over, but we're joining late for sure. So you have to get your votes in before the show even airs, which means it's really not about who dances the best. It's about who you're a bigger fan of. And it's like, it doesn't even seem fair to have like Alex Earl and Andy Richter in the same season. I mean, I don't know how, I don't know. Sometimes like call-in voting or texting voting, like how would we actually know? Is it real? I mean, the first season of American Idol, sure, I believed them. This one, I'm not sure. Is it rigged? Maybe. I honestly don't know. But it just seems unfair that like I mean, that Alex Earl can put on TikTok and to vote for her and 20 million people will see it. And Andy Richter is going to say that and nobody's going to care. So I don't know if it's completely fair, but it's hard to get 14 celebrities that are all of the same caliber. Like you're just going to have people that are more famous than the others. I would love to see what the paychecks look like and the ratings, honestly, but I would love to see like, what did they offer Alex Earl for this? I mean, for her to be taking this much time away from her job, I mean, they had to have paid her a pretty penny. Okay, let's go through some of the dance highlights. So first up, we had Jordan Childs and Ezra, who I think did great. And I think that they will, for me, be one of the most improved. I think the most improved by the end of the season will either be Jordan or Dylan. Jordan's obviously an incredible performer, but you can tell she's a gymnast. I mean, dance within gymnastics is obviously, it's very stiff. It's very precise. It's not super like fluid. It's obviously just a different type of dance. And I think that they have great chemistry. And I think that if Jordan can like loosen up a little bit, if the choreography can be there, like I totally see that. I think I rearranged my rankings after last night and I think that I put them at 6th. And that feels fair. I mean, top 6, I think is exactly where they're going to land. I also did not know that there was going to be no elimination last night. I kind of wish that there was an elimination on the first week, but I get it. It's like, you got to let people settle in. You got to let people get used to it. I just think like, I don't know. I kind of would have liked an elimination first go around. Like the pressure's on. You gotta really deliver. But like, yeah, there seems to be 2 groups. Like, I feel like we have some serious, I don't want to say A-listers, but definitely people who are more prevalent, and then half that are super not. Like, I guess there's a couple in the middle. I guess I would maybe put Scott somewhere in the middle. Like he's not super relevant, but he's not like, you know, he wasn't famous in the 80s. Like it's just a very, very split cast. And yeah, like I feel bad. Like Hilaria Baldwin, first of all, Gleb's vibes, I don't know. I feel like every partner he has, there's like weird vibes between them. But like Ilaria, I mean, who's voting here? And she's a phenomenal dancer. I mean, she's like got a background in ballroom dance. Like she was incredible, but like, I just don't see the fan vote going to her. Let's talk about, sorry, I got a cough. One sec. Elaine Hendricks, Meredith Blake. I mean, she's showgirl through and through. I didn't know that she had such a strong background of performing, but I thought she did incredible. Like here's another thing that I think about Dancing with the Stars. More so than being a great dancer, I think what gets you far in the competition is your willingness to be like loose and silly and goofy and vulnerable and like really dive in. Like I think Robert Irwin did an unbelievable job at that. Like he was there, he was ready to show up, lay it all out, and he killed it. I mean, Robert and Whitney in the final 2. I still have Whitney and Mark winning, but I think it's going to be Whitney v. Whitney. And I love that they're from rival dance studios. I mean, how poetic. But, you know, like Robert went out there, he was ready to just like give it his all. And I think that is where Alex Earl will falter a little bit, because I think that she's naturally kind of awkward. And I actually think that makes her really endearing on social media, because she kind of gives like the girl at the party who's like, you know, obviously drop dead gorgeous, has it all, but comes across kind of mean. But then when you get to know her, she's like incredibly warm and friendly and kind. And she's just not super, I mean, I don't want to say confident. Confident is not the right word, but she's just a little bit awkward. So I don't know how the chemistry is between Alex and Val. And I actually think I was saying Max last week instead of Val. They're brothers and they look identical to me, but she's with Val. And Val is married to Jenna, and then Max is married to Peta, and Pasha and Daniela are married. Like it's a lot of ballroom dancers marrying each other, but I digress. Alex, I just don't know how good their chemistry is. And I think that's the other thing that really pushes people over the top. Like if you can have that chemistry with your partner. I mean, when I think about good chemistry from last season, I mean, I think Steven and Riley had it. I think Alona and Alan had it. Like those elements, the willingness to look silly and stupid and give it your all, and also your chemistry with your partner, those really push people over the edge more so than being a good dancer. And I just think that that's where Alex will struggle. And okay, wait, let me get to my notes app. Dylan Efron. Oh my Lord, Dylan Efron. That slutty little man picking Milkshake for his first song, first of all. Also, he's just cute. He has this perfect balance of like slutty little thirst trap poster and dork. And he just gives like, oh, he gives everything that needs to be given. And like, how blessed are we that like 13, 14, 15-year-old us got Zac Efron, and now we're in our 30s and we get the resurgence of the Efrons and we get Dylan. I mean, I think that he will improve. I don't think he's a great dancer, but I do think he has that element of willing to try something new, willing to be a little goofy, a little stupid. Daniela is like one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, they came up on screen and things got confusing for me for a minute. Like, they are the best looking people I've ever seen. And I thought they did great. Okay, Whitney. We have to talk about Whitney. Whitney Levitt with Mark Ballas. Is this even fair? Is it even a fair competition that they're together? And I always wonder if because Mark also chose Charlie D'Amelio and they won. And I'm wondering, because he's been around for so long, like, I don't know if he has more pull over like who his partner will be. Maybe he says like, I'll come back if I can be with her or whatever. I could see that happening. I don't know, but it feels crazy that they're together. And I think that Whitney and Robert will be the only two who can give them a run for their money, because they are phenomenal. And Whitney Levitt, Whitney Carson, she's so beautiful, but Whitney Levitt, girl, the darker hair, the body, the dance, the teeth, the skin, her skin is glass. Like, she looked phenomenal, performed incredibly, top of the leaderboard, called it from the very start. Those are our winners. But I do think that Whitney and Robert could be close. Okay, what else? Oh, Scott. Okay, Scott and Riley. Scott was actually a little bit worse than I thought he was going to be. Not that that's bad. I mean, I in my mind, he's like a pop star, but then he mentions like, I'm a singer, I'm not a dancer. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely what you're doing. So yeah, I do think that they'll improve. Same with Jen and Yan. I don't know if it's Yan or Yan, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, Jen and Yan, because it's both of their first seasons. Like, I think that everybody agreed, like, the choreography with them was a little bit off, too many lifts, it didn't flow. Like, but I think that they will do great. I think Jen is a really great dancer. I think that I had her maybe 7th. I can't remember if I put 7th or 5th for her, but I don't see her going home in the early stages. Who was I just going to talk about? Oh, okay. You know who's my favorite male? And this is not because he's a Utah guy, okay? But I think Brandon is the best male dancer on the show. Like, I think that I don't know, he's really captivating. I think he's one of the best choreographers on the entire show. And I thought that they did a really nice job. They also had way less time than everybody else. I think that they had like 2 weeks less than the other partners did. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up, but I think that they had less time. And I thought that Brandon should have won last season. I actually think I don't know. I think he should have won last season. Very happy for Jenna and Joey, but I thought he had it in the bag, and I was very sad that he didn't win last year. And I'm hoping, I do have them in my top 5. I should go. There's an app called Bracketology, and you can put all of your things. It's the worst user experience app I've ever seen in my life, but I do have them in my top 5, and fingers crossed for them. Also, we already talked about this, that literally everybody from the show is on Utah, but also there's 2 new members of the troupe on Dancing with the Stars that are also from Utah. I mean, Utah is literally providing reality TV for the world right now. Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be the Bachelorette. I'm into it. Of course I'm into it. I would die for that woman. I think that she'll be great. I think that truly it might be the most dramatic season yet. No, but it really will probably be the most different, because I don't think that she's really cares about rules, regulations, NDAs. I don't know. I don't think she cares. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. I'm rooting for her all the way. A little worried. I mean, I want the internet to be kind to her. Also, common misconception. I mean, people are like bringing up what her arrest and domestic. She doesn't have a domestic violence charge. I think people think she does. She doesn't. I'm not excusing any sort of behavior. I don't think she would either, but it's like, it's crazy that, I mean, literally, let's think about this for a minute. People can get on the internet, type a sentence, post it, and it can be completely made up. I mean, not that I've like read a million things about myself, but I have seen things that I'm like, that's crazy that is it's not even a little bit true. It's like somebody just got on, like some agent of chaos was like, this happened. And like, I don't know, thousands of people are going to see that and be like, yes, that happened. I mean, I'm one of them. I mean, Dumas posts it and it's basically scripture to me. And then of course it's like nothing near the truth, but just, people be posting, and it's, take everything on the internet with a grain of salt, obviously. But I'm excited to see Taylor Frankie Paul. I don't know when that will air. It has to be like next spring, because they haven't even started filming. Sorry about that sniffle. So sorry. Okay, so did I have anything else to say about Dancing with the Stars? Baron Davis, I thought Baron Davis was good. I love when like I don't really know about a celebrity and then I end up really enjoying their dance, and that's how Baron Davis was for me. Like I thought I was thoroughly entertained. I feel like I have a tissue around here. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Just got to do a little bit of this. Okay. So that's my recap. That's actually not the topic of today's episode. We have more to get into. We are talking about bad friends this episode. And friendships are hard, and they seem to get harder as you get older. Like friendships as a kid and a teen, they felt very complex. No way. Then you get a little older, you throw in husbands, you throw in kids, you throw in jobs, you throw in schedules, you throw in all of these things. Friendships are tricky. And I asked you guys what was kind of the weirdest, worst, wildest, most unhinged thing that you guys had a friend do to you. We're going to discuss it. I'm going to, of course, offer my 2 cents, offer my advice where you need it. And let's get going. Sorry, one final tissue wipe. Okay, here we go. Bad friends. What a left turn we're taking, but here we go. I had met a neighbor shortly after we moved into our old neighborhood who developed a weird obsession with my family, specifically my husband. And it got worse as time went on. She was somehow able to get into my phone once, and she started sharing my location with herself. She would then randomly text me what I was doing at a specific place, or she would show up when we'd be on date night. It was such an invasion of privacy. And it got really weird really fast. This went on for a year. Once we found out, we cut her off and she tried to ruin our lives. She tried to get both of us fired from our jobs. She trashed our names throughout the neighborhood and our church congregation. It was the most toxic, and she was still up to her old ways, but now with a new family. Get a security system. She's definitely wants to peel you and wear you. That actually is so scary and unsettling. And I'll tell you guys, the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I had somebody show up at my house, and it was so jarring. Like somebody asked me this in a Q&A I did the other day, like what's the either the worst part or the craziest thing that happened to you, like since you share so much of your life. First of all, I am very aware that everything I say is going into many ears. And that's why I'm picky about what I share. Obviously, I try to be as open as possible, and I try to be realistic about what I'm sharing, but I don't share things about my friends, about my family. I mean, here and there I'll tell stories, but I would never, ever, ever share personal information about somebody else who didn't know I was sharing it. And so I'm careful. So I know, and it's kind of like what we talked about last week when people are like, is it weird that I know this? Literally no. Also, oh my gosh, I went to a place called Fika, which is like a reflexology massage place. I met the most lovely girls. I want to say Ella. It might have been Ellie and Elizabeth. Ellie and Elizabeth. I think it was Ellie. Anyway, they were just so delightful, and I love chatting with them. Girls, if you're listening, hi, how are ya? But they had asked me that. They were like, is that weird that we know this? Absolutely not, because I said it, so I know that a lot of people are going to hear it. That being said, I think people have in their heads, oh, you're on the internet, you don't deserve any privacy. Insane take, just by the way. That's basically like saying, oh, you decided to become a server at a restaurant, I get to be mean to you. Because you're a server and you're supposed to bring me my food, I get to treat you horribly. Where did we get lost here in common decency and also common sense? So yeah, I had somebody, show up to my house, and that was really scary. And I, obviously keep things private because I have a child, and I'm not going to sit and post my address. Actually, I did accidentally post my address one time. That's not how she got it. I did that after. But yeah, showing up to a house unexpectedly, even like telling people that you know where they live, I mean, it's really scary. And I understand that there is a balance here between like sharing your life and like expecting people to know about it and people being curious. And it's like when I got divorced or like had Coco or any big life thing, like of course I understand that people are curious, and I did that to myself. I'm going to share about it. Like I'm going to do what I can to share, because I'm also a nosy Nelly. And like when I follow somebody and they get divorced, I'm like, please tell me what happened. So I get it. However, like let's keep safety in mind. Don't show up at people's houses. Don't tell them you know where they live. Don't drop things off. Like unless like you have asked them, like people have asked me, can I drop this off at your house? Like a brand or something. I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. It seems insane to have to say, hey, don't show up to strangers' houses. But you know, here we are. This is the world we live in. Oh boy. Okay, let's go on to our next. Why is my camera going to die? That confuses me. Okay, hold on. Got to grab a new battery. One moment. Hit record. We're back. Got a new battery in there and we're rolling. Okay, let's get into our next story. Freshman year of college, I really clicked with one of my roommates and we became best friends. After several months, I started to notice some weird behaviors from her, kind of manipulative and scary and rude. Well, I am much taller than her, but we borrowed each other's clothes often. She has had a pair of pants that she just gave. Wait, she had a pair of pants that she just gave me because they were too big for her and they fit me like a glove. Out of nowhere, months later, and in front of other people, she goes, hey, where are those huge jeans, like the really giant ones that you sometimes wear? I was like, oh, you gave me those, but they were just in my closet. Needless to say, we are no longer friends after years of discreetly body shaming and just being weird altogether. But I think that's the moment I realized I was best friends with evil. This is like, I mean, it's a canon event of us tall bitches. I mean, getting ready with your middle school friends and having somebody be like, I don't think that's going to make you. I don't know. I just think it might be a little small. Story of my life. I think it was, maybe I've referenced this before, but Adie Bryant, who was on SNL for a long time, and then she did Shrill, that show. But she was talking about like going shopping with her friends, and everybody would be like buying stuff, and she'd be like, "I'll just get a headband. I'll just try on a headband or like a barrette or like a pair of socks." Like that was literally me. And we had one friend in our friend group who was incredibly tiny, and I was always in the dressing room with her, and she'd be like, "I don't know, the 00, it's just a little roomy," and I'm like, totally. No, totally. I had that same problem in second grade. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh, my heart is racing. I had a friend who feels like poison I can't escape from. I met her in high school and she's shown up in every stage of my life since. I'm now married and living in a different state, and here she is living close by. I've tried 500,000 times to be kind, forgive, and accept friendship again because I felt like I had no choice since we were constantly running in the same circles. My parents and husband and anyone that knows me had begged me to cut her off for years, but I never listened because I felt bad. Stupid, but this girl is mean. Let's see, I've never been so confused in my life because she'll randomly confront me about stuff I've never heard of or never did or said. And she'll just make these wild accusations with a smile on her face, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of other people. When I'm confused and ask what she's talking about or try to get to the bottom of her anger towards me, she'll say things like, oh, come on, you know, or I guess it's just best we don't bring those things up. She'll blame me for any friendship she's ever had that didn't work out or if she's not invited to something. I'm the kind of person who hates to hold guilt on my chest, so I love mending misunderstandings. And I've tried so many times, but I'm just always left being told how mean I've been with no examples and no idea what she's talking about. Eventually, I just had to lower communication, but I think I've lost great friends because of this girl, and I can't believe that she's affecting me this far into my life. I've never had someone make me feel more crazy, confused, or worried that what I was doing. Let's see, that I was doing something without knowing it. Sorry. I'm finally starting to get away from it all, but it's an issue in my life that I feel like I've never been able to solve. I know you're not giving advice, but honestly, what do you do about someone like this? They seem to hate you. They say mean things, but they want to be your friend, or they want you to introduce them to your friends. The crazy thing is, I'm still not worried that I was the problem here, and I truly don't know how. Or I'm still worried that I'm the problem here, and I truly don't know how. Love you. Help. Okay, not this same situation, but I have interacted with people where I'm like, you hate me. Like, you 100% hate me. Like, you're kind of mean to me in front of people. Like, even when we're by ourselves, like, you're mean to me. But then I will get texts of like, and this is not somebody, I mean, this is just random. This is not anyone. Like, I feel like when I talk about this, people are like, which one of her friends is it? It's like an acquaintance. Okay. It's just distant. But I'm like, you hate me. And then I'll get a text of like, I seriously love you. I can't wait to hang out again. And I'm like, huh? Hello? Like, am I going crazy? Like, I have had moments like this, and I just want to reassure. I do think that when you are able to sit with it and say, like, am I the problem? Like, am I crazy? Am I the one perpetuating this? Like, I do think that's a sign of emotional maturity. I don't think that you're being weird by like asking if you're the problem. But with people like this, first of all, I think that they crave friendships where they have the upper hand. And like, I don't know what this girl's life story is, but like maybe she's had a life where like she's seen that people who are insulting or put other people down, like that they get the upper hand in some way. And so that's the kind of like relationship dynamic that she likes. I don't know. That's the conclusion that I've come to in my situation. I'm like, okay, this is how she feels like she has the upper hand. And like, there are so many of these little like trite things that we say, like she's just jealous of you, so she's trying to put you down. But like, I do think there's some truth to it when people are constantly like trying to make you feel bad. Like that's not a normal behavior. Like sometimes I read these stories about bad friends and I mean, they'll be like, yeah, we're still in the same friend group. Excuse me. We're still in the same friend group, whatever. Like you guys, you should like your friends. Okay. Like your friends should be people that you go to feel less anxiety, to feel less drama, to feel less criticized, to feel more like yourself. Like that's what friends should do. And I don't know why so often we get stuck in cycles where we're with friends that we don't feel good around. And like, let me be the first to give you permission. No friends is better than bad friends. Okay. It's not like donuts where it's like a bad donut is still pretty good. That's not how friends are. Okay. Like just, I'd rather have 0 friends than friends who make me feel like shit. But to answer your question, what would you do? I mean, I would probably cut off and just stop responding. And like, you know, you just have to build up a wall against this feeling of like, did I do something wrong? You have to build a tolerance to that. Otherwise, you will continue to people please. You'll continue to like blame yourself. You have to, that's the muscle that you need to work out is I didn't do anything wrong. I don't need to feel guilty. I don't need to welcome this energy into my life. Okay. Sorry, not to bring up Taylor Swift again, but I think that what she said about like protecting your energy and treating it like it's a luxury item, I mean, I think that that was incredible advice. Not everybody has earned the capital to invest in your energy, baby. Okay, let's go on to our next one. Sorry, these next ones are on my phone. Here we go. I knew this girl for nearly 15 years. She was my best friend. Our kids were best friends. Our husbands were really good friends. We knew one another's extended families. Our lives were very enmeshed, to say the least. One drunken night, she let it slip that she would, and I quote, should I do the censor? Let's see. Where's my censor? Oh, that's crickets. Where is it? Hello? Censor. Oh, here we go. That she would the out of my husband. She would have sex with her husband. Needless to say, hopefully that, I don't even know if that recorded loud enough. Anyway, we'll see. This was after she accidentally called him babe on multiple occasions. Myself and both of our husbands had corrected her. Needless to say, the friendship was ended. But like, what the actual hell? I have a really hard time making friends and letting people in, even still after 3 years. I can't even imagine like I mean, hugging my friends' husbands is like where I draw the absolute line. That is a hard, like I will give your husband a hug. I don't really want to text your husband. I don't really want to I definitely don't want to like hang out with him one-on-one. Certainly don't want to have sex with him. Like I can't think of one person's husband that I'm like, yeah, I kind of have a crush on you. That's weird. And you should actually tattletale. I think you should tell on her. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being petty. Maybe that's like an elementary school thing to do. But also like I didn't know that I was so jealous. I shouldn't even say jealous, but like the protectiveness that I feel over my own husband is something I haven't experienced until this go around. Like I mean, and I get it. Like, you know, when the cashier is like, you know, just being extra nice and whatever. I don't think that everybody's flirting with my husband, but I definitely feel like sometimes like servers or somebody will be like a little too, and I'm like, all right, back up a little bit. Okay. Like we don't need to get so friendly about it. So if somebody said this to me in a dead serious manner, like, yeah, we're going to have a problem. I actually like, I've never had a situation where I needed to hit somebody or slap somebody or anything like that. But maybe I would like the opportunity. Maybe in a controlled setting where it makes sense, I would like to slap somebody. And if somebody came on to my husband or said that they were going to have sex with him, maybe that would warrant it. Okay, so maybe you don't need to tell on her. Maybe you slap her. Okay, next one. Let's see. Okay. Hold on, sorry. My friend's parents were responsible for almost killing me, aka the scariest day of my life. The first time I ever met my friend's dad, we were on a team trip with the school's drill team I was on. My friend's mom was one of my coaches, and they decided it would be fun to go boating, nonetheless tubing, nonetheless with two tubes at once behind the boat. So as we're going along, the tube next to me, when we're going along, the tube next to the one I'm on flies over my head, and in doing so smacks the girl sitting on my end of the tube's head, causing a domino effect until all of our heads were smashed into each other. Obviously, I was out cold. Long story short, I couldn't focus, remember anything, talk, or stop throwing up after that happened, and I was rushed to the hospital and I had a CT scan. Luckily, it was just a grade 4 concussion, but they said if I had broken the skin on my face, they would have had to do reconstructive surgery, and I never would have been the same. And the best part, like 2 years after this happened, I was talking about it with a friend, and she claims that her family has never done that and never driven a boat with two tubes behind it because that would be too dangerous. Okay, I picked this one because this is my worst fear. Boating. I hate boating. I never want to be a boat person. I actually asked Gray this the other day because I was like, would you ever, like, I didn't know. I don't know. We're still, having conversations like this. I didn't know this about him. I'm like, are you going to want a boat? Like if we get older and like we can afford it, like, and he said, hard no, never want to be the boat dad. It's so much effort to keep up with a boat, so much money. You have to take care of everybody's kids. You have to pay for everything. Like you're liable for all of it. It's an absolutely not. And I went boating with friends like in high school and college where their dads would drive the boat. It's so scary. Tubing is so scary. Water sports in general, like they're just so far out of my comfort zone. Like I remember being on the tube and like I'm sorry. I hate the dad that likes scaring the kids. That's not like a cool dad to me. Okay. Like one who's like, yeah, get on the tube. We'll do it nice and easy. And then he's like doing serpentines throughout the like, I don't think that's funny. I don't want to be friends with people like that. I don't want my husband to be that guy. My dad was never that guy. Like my dad is like the most gentle, like not soft spoken, but just like I have a gentle dad. Like I didn't have one who like played pranks on us or like roughhoused with us or like told us to just get over things. Like I had a very kind dad. And so he still is. I have a very kind dad. So stuff like that, like when parents act like that, specifically dads, like it grossed me out. I don't like that energy. Okay. Let's see. One of my best friends is constantly dissing me, and I can't tell if she's conscious of it or not. She'll say things like, oh, I hate vintage furniture. I hate vintage furniture, but I notice you have a ton of it in your house. Or I hate sorority girls. I think they're so ditzy, but I think you would have loved being in a sorority. I hate dance. I definitely don't want my daughter to be a dancer. And she says this straight to my face when I literally am a dance teacher as my profession. Should I say something? I used to just brush it off, but it's gotten weirder and weirder and more often. Does she just not realize how rude? No, she realizes it. She knows it. She doesn't like you and you should not be friends with her. Like people will say this about their boyfriends too. My boyfriend's constantly like making digs at me. He doesn't like you. Somebody who likes you wants you to feel good, period. If you have a friend who constantly makes you feel bad, they don't like you. Don't be friends with them. Okay. These are all, I took screenshots of these. Okay. My friend literally ghosted me every time we've made plans to meet up since we've become adults and we moved to different states and cities. Like, just don't make plans with me if you're going to bail. A true friend knows when not to make plans. I have had friends, okay, like when you travel to a city, like I'll be in LA or New York or, just because I'm so fancy. No, but like places where I've had friends move to. And a true friend knows that when you travel somewhere, you don't always have time for a meetup. And in fact, I went to New York a couple weeks ago and I had a friend who lives in New York text me and be like, hey, if you have time, but like obviously no pressure. And I was like, I know, because you're normal and you know that like if I don't have time, you're not going to be offended. But I've had friends who live in different cities and I go there and they're like, why would you not go to lunch with me or go to, because a good friend knows when to not make plans or when not to make plans. That's what I like to hear when people are like, hey, I know that you don't have time, but I hope you have a great trip. That's a good friend. And overly making plans and bailing on them. Just don't make plans. Like, just please just save us all the trouble and just don't do it. Okay. My brother did summer sales and was gone for a summer. He was a few years older than me and had started hanging out with us more. I was like 19 or 20 when this happened, so we would have been like 22 or 23. But my best friend and I were living up in a college town, but happened to be in our hometown that weekend for something. So after whatever we did, we came home to my parents late and my brother had just gone back and was asleep downstairs. My best friend and I went downstairs and woke up my brother so we could talk after he had been gone all summer, and we were all laying in his bed talking. I fell asleep and so did everyone else, or so I thought. Turns out my best friend and my brother made out with me in the bed right next to them, a full bed, while I just slept. She's still my best friend, but oh my gosh, I found out a few weeks later when my best friend was totaling how many guys she had kissed, and it gone up by one. I recognized that it had gone up since the last time we talked, and she was like, promise you won't get mad. The way I don't even want to acknowledge that my brothers are even married. Like, sometimes when my sisters-in-law would be pregnant, it would hit me how that happened, and like it grosses me out a little bit. Like, I don't want to know about that. Please don't acknowledge that. Like, even seeing my brothers kiss their wives sometimes, I'm like, please don't do that. Like, literally my personal fear factor would be this exact situation. I'm not kidding. I don't know. Maybe I'm a prude. Sometimes, okay. Sometimes there are some brother-sister relationships that just don't quite feel right. Are the Huff siblings one of them? Maybe. I don't know. But like, sometimes I think about brothers and sisters, like, why are you so overly affectionate? Like, you should be uncomfortable, like hugging for that long. Like, I don't want to see you guys. Like, I remember a brother-sister couple, a brother and sister that I knew, like he would like hug his sister from behind. I don't like that. Like, that's your brother. You should be grossed out at the thought. Okay. I think this is our last one. Let's see. Yeah, this will be our last one. Okay. My queen, let me start out by saying that everyone is crazy around weddings, not just the mother-in-law. It's everybody. So I asked one of my old friends to be my bridesmaid. I made her a whole baggie with treats and gifts, the whole shebang. She had just happened to graduate cosmetology school, and I asked if she'd be willing to do my makeup for the wedding. She said she'd love to. After that, we planned a whole afternoon where we went to Ulta and shopped around for a bunch of makeup. I spent over $200 on the makeup she told me would be best. Totally not an issue because eventually I'd probably use that makeup again anyway. Fast forward to the day of my wedding, and when she did my makeup, I looked beautiful. It was a beautiful day overall. The next day, I get a text from this bridesmaid with an itemized list of how much money I owed her for doing my makeup, which I'm totally fine with paying her what she's worth, but I'm one of the people who would never take advantage of my friends. I want to pay her. However, part of this itemized list was the time we spent at Ulta. She wanted $20 an hour for the 2 hours we spent shopping for makeup in Ulta. Was it silly of me to think that we were there as friends and that we were genuinely shopping together for fun? Mind you, I paid for all of my makeup. We had also gone to lunch afterwards where I paid for her lunch. The itemized list continues. She also clocked in requesting $20 an hour for the entire time she spent at my wedding, literally requesting $20 an hour for being at the ceremony. Overall, she requested $550. My husband was much more upset than I was, and I ended up just feeling like a pushover and paying her because we're friends and she did such a great job on my makeup. Was I wrong for paying her? Also, my husband and I aren't rich. We're both in school and broke. $550 to do my makeup one time with my own makeup seems crazy to me. Let me know what you think. That's crazy. $550 plus the $200 you spent on makeup. Her charging hourly to be hourly workers, you got to be careful of. Just saying, before you hire somebody who is an hourly worker, make sure you know when they're starting. I've had a few people that I've hired that are hourly that start their hours before they even told me. I'm like, I didn't know that the initial call you were charging me for, I want to have called you. But anyway, be careful about that. Charging to attend the wedding is crazy. $550 for your makeup is crazy. Fresh out of cosmetology school, probably no clientele, and she's your friend. crazy. You bought all the makeup, crazy. Like all of it's insane. Like when I got my makeup done, I didn't pay for the makeup. I certainly like I didn't buy the makeup. Like I didn't buy new makeup. Makeup artists have kits that they should bring and do your makeup for. That's really, really wild. I also like, of course, I want to pay my friends for what they do. Like if I hired my friend to do something, I would pay them. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a scenario where I want it. I guess if they offer it, like if they offer it for free, yeah, maybe I want it. But if I'm electively going out and asking them to do something, yeah, I would expect to pay them. And here's the thing, charge what you're worth. Like I've had some like, graphic designers, interior designers that are way out of my price range. I don't think that they should lower their prices for me. Okay. Like definitely charge what you want to charge, but you cannot expect every single person to be able to afford you. But that's just like, that's the price you pay literally for charging more. Like if you are, on the higher end of things, you can't expect that everybody will just be able to do it. And I feel like I've been told what people will charge, and I've been like, oh, that's a little out of my price range. I can't really do that. And they're the ones taken aback. And I'm like, no, I'm not telling you that you're not worth that. I'm telling you I can't pay that. Charge somebody else, girl. Go get your bag. It's just not going to be at my hand. Okay. All right. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for your submissions. Thank you for your Dancing with the Stars thoughts. You guys are always sliding into my DMs with them, and I love it. I will be watching every Tuesday. I had to brick my phone because I didn't want to see spoilers, so I'm not on my phone doing live updates. Again, ABC, Hulu, Disney, whoever owns Dancing with the Stars, if you hear me, make it live again. This is the worst setup ever. But I love you guys. Let me know what you think about Mike and Sully being gay. I'll see you next week. Be safe, be kind, be hot, be normal. Don't show up at anybody's houses. The whole shebang. I love you so much. Bye.